Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I have a little tutorial in my mind, and we're going to see if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, you'll never see this video. Now, this is just some scrapbook page that I have. I think we'll be able to use a regular book page and fold it, but this was just some scrap pieces. This is going to be my little trial piece here. So I have just folded this book page up at the end just a tiny bit, and let's see, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5 inches tall after I folded it. Now, you don't have to do this fold. I just had a little bit extra down here at the bottom, so I folded it. And then this piece is going to sit right in there, and then this one is going to sit just like that, and that's going to make a double pocket. But we're going to do this double pocket a little bit different. Now, like I said, this is a scrap piece and it doesn't look too straight, so we're going to probably straighten it out up here after we get all this put together. So the first thing that I want to do, and like I said, this is trial and error. Who knows if it will work? I have taken a paper bag, and this is just one of our little paper bags, and I've done some zigzag stitch on it, and I want to put this right at the top of that, just like that. Now I do want to ink it because I want it to look vintage and you know, that kind of thing, so I'm going to ink it. And I like my paper to look burned on the edges, so going to kind of ink really dark right on the very edge. I had someone else who posted a comment that said that when they was a child, like I had told the other day, when I said that when I was a child, my dad had a big, I think it was a 55-gallon drum that he had fixed for us as a burn box, because back then you didn't have all of the, you know, garbage pickup and all that like you do now. So it was either bury it or burn it, and my dad liked the idea of burning it better than he did burying it in the ground. So we would burn garbage, and I can remember when we would get, you know, junk mail and things like that, Dad would always let me take the paper out to burn, and I loved watching that paper burn in that barrel, and the ends just kind of curl up and get all burned and frayed, and I don't know, that just was just something about that I liked. And I had someone tell me the other day that they enjoyed seeing that too, so I don't feel so weird now. Alright, I'm going to glue that right there at the top of that. Like I said, if this doesn't work, you'll never see this video, and if it does work, then you may see it. If it looks horrible, we won't put the video up. But this just kind of come in my head this morning when I was actually doing another video. That's my problem. My brain doesn't like to shut down. So when I'm trying to sleep or do a video, my brain is going 90 miles an hour. So it doesn't let me just rest and sleep. So I'm constantly thinking, even when I'm doing another video, I'm thinking about the next one, about the next project. So hopefully your brain shuts down better than mine. Alright. It's just something about that little bag on that white that I just think is cute. Now I'm just going to trim that off, and I can use those pieces later. So then I'm going to put this down in there. And like I said, you don't have to fold this little piece up. You could just glue it at the bottom. I'm just folding it up because I had that little bit of extra. So I probably won't even fold the next one up like this, if we make another. Okay, now I glued that down because I was talking before I glued this one, so we're just going to glue that one right there. You won't ever even know that that was folded over. I am going to trim this one off a little bit though. I don't want my pocket quite that close together. So yeah, that'll work right there. So let's glue this one right down the side, across the bottom. And I'm just putting a little glue because I'm going to stitch this. This is not something you have to do. You can glue it all down. But I'm going to stitch it because I have the brown thread in there that I did this with. So I'm just going to stitch mine. Now we've got that glued down. Need to put a little bit of glue under here to glue that one. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Trim that off a little bit right there. Now, I need to trim this top just a tiny bit. Right at that line right there. I think that should work. Making it up as we go along. Now, let me think. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and stitch around these. So we've got a pocket there and a pocket there. I'm going to stitch around it and then we're going to come back and do some embellishing on this and I'll show you what I want to do. Alright, so there's our stitching, and then I am going to ink. Even though I stitched, I'm still going to ink. Now when you have single layers of book page, the needle will kind of tear the paper a little bit, especially if the tension is tight. But that doesn't bother me. I like that look. So, but if you don't like that look, you could put another layer of paper behind this one, and it would keep it from tearing through. But that doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so then we have it inked around. And now I'm going to use something that we haven't used in a while. We're going to use some burlap. Now this is just some burlap out of my stash, and I cut it in a little rectangle. And then I frayed the edges, and then to keep it from keeping on fraying over and over and over until you don't have any left, I take a little bit of my art glitter glue and I run around the edge and let that dry, and then that fixes it where it won't keep fraying. So that's just a tip for you on how to keep your burlap from fraying. I'm just going to put this down on here. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of put it, ooh, my finger stuck to it. I'm just going to kind of put it in the center. Like that. And then I have taken some of that same bag. I'm still working on that one bag, and I've just stamped a Tim Holtz butterfly on that. And I'm going to ink the edges of this up a little bit. And I could probably use that little brush and do better inking on here, but this will work for now. So then we're going to put that little butterfly down right there. So I think I'm going to glue it down right in the center here. And I'm just gluing it kind of at a little bit of an angle. And this would have been cute stitched around too. I didn't think about that until I put it down. But that would have been really cute stitched around as well. Cute, I like that. Okay. Then we want to make some tags to go in here. And this is going to hold quite a few tags if you make them, narrow. So I'm going to put 2 tags in this one and then 1 tag up here in the top. So let me find something to make my tags out of. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of bling down the center of our butterfly. Kind of dress him up a little bit. And this is not the normal black bling. This is a different bling that I just got in. It's that bling. And see, I think that's really pretty on there. All right, now let's make some tags. Now, I think I had mentioned before that I have lots of these little sheets. These are, I think, watercolor paper, and they're just little square sheets. I had cut a watercolor paper pad down a while ago, and so I'm just going to use some of this for my base for my tags. So let's see how wide we want a tag. Probably, I would say 2 inches for those, and then for this one maybe about 3.5. So 2 inches. And then I want to see if this is going to be too tall, so I'm just going to insert it in there. Yeah, I'm going to cut them down just a little bit. Probably about 3/4 of an inch off, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's going to work just right there. Okay. And then for the big one in the back, we need one that is, what did I say, 4.5? 4.5. And then it can be, oh no, I didn't say 4.5. I think I said 3.5. Did I say 3.5? Let me measure again. Let's make, 3.5. I thought that seemed way too big. Okay. And it just depends on how wide you make your little pockets. Mine are almost the width of my book page. Mine overall are 4 3/4. So it just depends on how wide you want to make those. All right. So that will go right down in there. That will be that little tag. Like that. And then we'll have 2 that'll go in here like this. Okay, so let's doll our tags up just a little bit. Let's decorate our tags up a little bit. Now, I'm probably going to use, I think this was, I don't know if this was my printable or if this is Tina's. I think this is Tina's printable, and I think that's what I'm going to use right there. Just kind of hold it up and see where I need to put it, see if it's going to be long enough. It's not quite going to be long enough, so we may have to go with a different one. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm going to cut these out, and these are Tina's printables. I'm pretty sure. If they're not, Tina, let me know, but I think they're yours. And the thing of it is, I think that right there would be a perfect size. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And I'm just going to cut it about 1/2 in 2 to make this little tag. Oh yeah, that's cute. Alright, that one will cover that. Let's see, we have enough. That would look good enough to cover this one. Yeah, I think so. Let's go ahead and cut this one out, and we'll glue that on top of that tag. Okay, I'm going to glue that down right there. Glue that one down, and then I'm just going to work that glue out. Okay, and then I think I want page a little bit larger than what I had cut for this one. I think I want that, the whole thing. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I'll trim that backing off. And you could use a glue stick for this. This is not printed on a real thick paper, but I think that art glitter glue will still work. I don't think it's going to show through. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cute? Very, very cute. Okay, I'm going to lay that one aside. Now, let's see. I want to cut these in a tag shape. So I'm just going to trim this off a little bit right here. Flip it over. Trim this side off. And you'll have to excuse my inky fingers. I have been doing videos all morning long, so my fingers are a little bit inky. There we go. We're going to trim that right there. I'm just using this one for a little template so that I can have them both trimmed alike. And then on this one, I really don't want to trim the corners because it's got that frame around it. So I think it may look just fine, just like it is, like that. We can still put something at the top. Now these, I'm going to punch a hole in. So I'm going to punch a hole in this one somewhere near the center. And then we're going to put a hole reinforcer on there. And I'm not going to put one on the back. I'm going to leave it as is. These, let's see. I don't think we'll put a hole in this one. I think I'll just staple my lace or trim or whatever I'm going to put on this one. These, I'm going to run some little lace through, I think. Let's see. This is just some trim that I cut in two. It's just fraying, and I just went ahead and cut it. And I think with this one I'm just going to tie a knot. And I'm going to pull my knot to the front like this. And I'll probably have to trim some of this frayed part off of here, but that's fine. See how it's one of those old trims, and it's just literally falling apart. But I thought I could use it on this. And I'm just pulling it to the front to tie my knot. And I could always put some glue on there if I wanted it to stop fraying, but it's not a biggie to me. I kind of like that look when it's on something like this. Okay, we're just going to trim a few of those little stragglers off there. And then that's going to be one of my little tags. Let's see, I think that is cute. Okay, we're going to put that right down in there. And then on this one, let me get all these strings off of here. All the strings are now stuck to me. All right, on this one, let's see what we want to do. I want to put a little bit of lace, I think, on this one. Just a little thin piece of lace. See what I have in here. And I may have to go search my other basket of lace and trims. I don't really have any in here that's really thin. Okay, here is some lace that one of you guys sent me. I like it. I like how it looks. So what I'm going to do is cut off a piece. And then I think, let's see. I'm going to try to crisscross it like that. Okay, we're going to crisscross it like that, and I'm going to staple it, but I want to put some little something else on here before I staple it, right here at the top. Okay, so let's put that like that, and then I'm just going to staple it. And normally I don't staple. Normally I glue, but I'll show you what I'm going to do on this one. Okay, I'm going to put another staple in there. I just want to make sure that it catches well. And then I like to take my little tool and bang those staples down really good. I don't want anybody to get a staple in their finger. Then we're just going to cut these off a little bit of an angle. Then we're going to take a large bead and I'm going to glue that right there. And I think the white one's going to be the one. I don't know, that one. Nope, don't like that one. I think the white is going to be the one. that pink's a little bit off. All right, which one do we like, the pink or the white? I like the white one. So we're going to glue that down there. And I'm just using my Fabri-Tac. And I just put a good amount on there, and then I'm going to press that down and hold it just a second. Use my little towel to sop up any excess glue. Okay, while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and ink around this. And where's our other one? Did we cover it up? What did we do with it? Oh, it is in here, Edith. We're going to go ahead and ink around this one. And that will go in there. Ink this one. Right, that one will go down in there like that. That one there. And then this one, we want to put some trim or something up here at the top. Let's see. And you know what I think I want to put? I just saw this laying over there. I've just got this little piece right here. And I think I just want to put it on there. And I'm going to stamp a little something on here. Alright, so we have got the tags in here. These are little tags. We've got our large tag made. And then all I'm going to do is, I had a piece of this little cloth. And I just stamped on it some little butterflies, and then I'm gonna fold that to where it will stand up like that. Let's see, there we go, like that right there. I can get it on there, and then I'm just gonna staple that down. And I know, didn't I just say that I don't like to staple? And I really don't. But a lot of times when it's something like this that's cloth and I don't have my hot glue gun plugged up, it's just easier to go ahead and staple it. And then I always put something over that staple, just so that when you're pulling that in and out, you don't catch your finger on there, or, you know, get it stuck in your finger, because that hurts. Alright, so that will be our large tag right there. I think those are cute. And now I'm going to put this word, and this is one of our words, and it just says memories. I'm going to put that on here. And I'm probably just going to lay that right across there. Just like that. Then I have just pulled out 3 little bitty pink flowers. I didn't have any that were that color, that bright of a pink. So I'm just going to use these little pink flowers. And I'm just going to put these on the side right here. This will just kind of dress it up a little bit more. They're not real bright, so they don't stick out like a sore thumb, like my sore thumb. Alright. So there we go. There is the little pocket. It's a double pocket, and it's got 3 tags. And then if you glue it down to your page just here and on the bottom and up the side, you can have a 4th pocket behind there. So that is the little tag. It's quick and easy, and I think they're cute as a button. All right, we're going to do some more. We're going to do more. Let's see. I think I have some papers cut here. I'm going to do one with some music page just to see I don't want it to say Christmas on it though. I think that's a little bit wide. I don't want to do one that wide. So let's just cut this. All right, we're just going to cut both of these down, right down the middle. Well, nope, I'm not going to cut them down the middle. I'm going to cut it about, let's see what size we need to make this. About 4.5, I think, is a good width for these. And then this I'll save to use for something else. So let's do that at 4.5. And then, got 2 sheets here, but I want my music to be right side up. So we're going to flip it over. And my first pocket needs to be about right there, I think. Whoops. My cutter just fell out of the drawer. That's okay. I was about to use you anyway. And I'm going to cut some of this at the top off. Not a lot. Just trim a little bit of that cream colored off there. And I know right now you can't see exactly where that comes to. Alright, so we got that, and then I need another little pocket down here. And this is one of those things that you could put multiple pockets on here if you wanted to. You could put more than one. You could put another one like this, and then another one on down here. Why don't we just do that on this one? I think that would be a good idea. So we're going to trim that one right there. We'll just see what it looks like. And then, let's see, that one's going to go there. And then we'll need to cut one more. That's maybe about to there. So let's do that. And I'm just, you know, I'm just laying it up there and guesstimating. So I'm not measuring real close. So that's going to make, and I still think I've got a little bit too much at the top. Let's trim a little bit more of that off. I'm just going to trim it right there at that line. And that looks better. Okay, now I'm going to ink these up so that you'll be able to distinguish where the pockets are. So I like to go around and ink the top and the sides, and then I'll probably stitch, and I may even put some of that paper bag that I did on these too. I kind of like that look. Oh, and thank you guys for all of the comments yesterday. I've read most of them about ideas and things that you would like to see. I appreciate that. That just helps us out a lot. It gives me more ideas of things to do and things that you like to see. I mean, I know what I like to do, but I want to do some things that you like to see too. Not only just what I like to do. So any time you post ideas and things like that, I like it. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to do every one of them, because that would probably take me years. But we'll do as much as we can. Alright, so you can distinguish where our pockets are now that we did a little bit of inking. And then I'm thinking that I might put this on there too, just like we did on that other one. I like that. I like that look. So I'm going to ink these up. This is just a paper bag that I have taken and done a zigzag stitch on with my sewing machine. And I do use just my regular sewing machine and regular needle to do this. It doesn't hurt it. It's not hurt mine yet. And I've been doing sewing with mine for a long time now. Let's see if I have another. I may have to sew another one. Not sure I have another one that's long enough. Okay, I'm going to have to stitch another one because I don't have another piece that's long enough. So that will be fine. We'll stitch one. But what we'll do is we'll glue that. Let me see which one's top. We'll glue that right there, and then we'll glue another one on this pocket, and then another one on this pocket. So let me stitch another one of those, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so I just stitched quite a few of them, and I just stitched mine all in a row like that, and then I can just clip them apart where I want them, and then I can put the remainder of these in my little folder over there, and I'll have them ready to go. Now I'm just going to tear off a little bit of this because this piece was a little bit wide, so I'm just tearing it off, and I'd rather tear it off as cut it because I want that rough edge. There we go. And we'll tear this one. And I wanted to tell you, I have a video that's posting today, and most of you will understand this. I did not know that the video that I have posting today, which I filmed about a week ago, I film early, so I don't always film on the same day. But the video that I have posting today, Pam at the Paper Outpost had done one like that yesterday, and I did not realize that, or I would have put her link below the video. I can still go back and do that, but go over and check her videos out. She's a sweet, sweet person, and she posts some very, very interesting videos, and I love to hear her talk. She's a mess. But I just wanted to tell you that in case you thought that, you know, I was trying to copy her. I'm not trying to copy her. I have sent her a message letting her know the same thing. I just filmed mine early, and then someone posted on the group this morning that she had one up. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I try my best not to copy anyone, but you know, all of us are trying to post things that are interesting to people and things that we like to do, and a lot of us like to do the same things. So it's only stands to reason that we're gonna, you know, be posting some of the same product and some of the same creations from time to time. So just wanted to let you know that. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead, I think, and glue this down. Now you could have just zigzagged right across this paper if you had wanted to. You wouldn't have had to sew something separate, but I like this brown paper bag. I think it makes that zigzag stitch look really good. So I just like that look. I don't know, it gives it a different outcome, I think, but you know, that is up to you. If you want to just take this and put it in your sewing machine and stitch like that, you can, or you don't even have to stitch. I have a few people that say, you stitched on that one and I don't stitch, and that's fine. You do not have to stitch. You can just glue something on there or leave it as is. You do not have to stitch just because I do. That is not a requirement. I just like to show you what I do, you know. So, and that's a little short, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to worry about it. By the time we get our tags and things in there, you won't ever know anyway. Okay. So see, to me, that it's just something about that I don't know, something about that brown paper that just makes it look nice, I think. Now, what am I going to do? Okay, I am going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch around the top and down the sides and across the bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of glue under here first, just to kind of hold it until I do that. I don't glue it all the way down. I just put a little bit under there to tack it until I stitch. If you don't want to stitch or you're not stitching, then you can just glue this down and then continue to embellish and make your tags. Not any different. They will both look very, very pretty. Okay. And I'm going to let my glue dry just a little bit before I start to stitch. It's better for your machine and for your needle if you let it dry a little bit instead of stitching right away, because that glue will gum up your needle. It won't necessarily, I don't think, get in your sewing machine unless it's really, really soppy wet. But it will kind of gum up your needle, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to let that dry just a little bit. Now we can go ahead while that's drying and be pulling some things for our tags. And I'm going to show you, I got a few of these from one of you guys. And I'm actually going to use these for the tags that go in here, maybe. Let's see. Maybe the tags that go down here. And I'm just going to cover them. I am not good at redoing these and all that. That's not one of my interests. So I think I will use them as a base since they're nice and thick for my tags. I may later on, I may decide that I want to do some mixed media on some of these, but right now I just think that this will be pretty to use them as tag bases. And I'm just using a Edith Holden book page here to do this on. And see, that makes a nice looking tag right there. And then we can just cover the back with some other paper. Let's see if I have any. I thought I had some paper pulled out. Let me grab some of my dyed paper and we will cover that. That one and okay. Try to use up our scraps first. Okay, so we're just going to put that on the back and then we can write on that. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And these are kind of slick, but I think the art glitter glue will hold them fine. I've seen some people that have actually roughed them up with sandpaper, but I don't think we'll have that problem on here because this art glitter glue usually holds pretty good. Just gluing it on, we're not adding mediums and things like that. Right. So there is one little tag, and I do think I'm going to round those corners a little bit more. I like how they're rounded, but I think I want them rounded just a tiny bit more. Just so that they all kind of look uniform. There we go. I like that. And then of course we're going to ink. It just kind of closes off those edges, makes it look more finished. And I like to ink front and back. And let me take my little card here. Okay, so there we go. There is a tag for that. Cute. Okay, I'm going to punch a hole. If I can find my hole punch. There it is. And I'm going to guess at this center. I'm not going to try to be too precise. And we'll go ahead and put a hole reinforcer on the front here. Cute. And then we'll put something in that one in a minute. So let's grab, don't think I will have enough to cover this one. Let's see. Well, if I go this way I might, but I don't know. No, that's gonna look kind of weird. Let's don't do that. So let's just cover this one with this piece of paper. It's got that green in it, like the green stems there. That is fine, I think, and we can decorate that up a little bit. No, let's not. All right, so what do we have that we want to cover this one with? That's not big enough. That one's not big enough. These are just some of our printables. And this one is printed on kind of a thin paper, but I think it will still work. I just want to get all of that rose in there. Yeah, let's just do that. Depending on what you're going to use them for, you can print them on thicker paper if you need to. My printer, and some printers will even take cardstock. I don't know if yours will, but some printers take cardstock pretty well. So if you need to print them on cardstock, you can. Okay, what did I do with my little card? Did I put it back in there? Why did I put it back in there? You're not finished with that, Edith. And my little trash bucket has disappeared. I think my husband borrowed it. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? I like that. This is, can't remember. I think this one is just floral is the printable for this one. You can go over, and I usually have all of the photos there, so you can go over and check them out for our digitals, but I think it's called floral, and it has these flowers in there. Sorry, I'm pulling my paper back out of frame a little bit. I get involved in this and I forget where I forget the camera. Okay. Now, I just like to rake that little card over the back, and that just kind of smooths out all of that glue. And then we're just going to round these corners. Okay, and then we'll punch a hole, and let's see, and put one of our reinforcers on there. That hole may be a little off, but we're not going to worry about it. Maybe a little off center. I don't stress over things like that. There's no use in it. Like I said, it's just paper. And when it all is said and done, it's not that important. I like for my little albums and things to look pretty, but you know, if you're off just a tiny bit, it's not going to matter. When you put your lace and trims and things on there, no one is ever going to know the difference. All right, now let's do a couple more. These will go down here, and we'll just put some trim in them. Once all of that gets dried and we do our stitching, I think they'll go there. Yeah, and then we need two more for here, and then I'm gonna put one big one up there. Let's do that. And I think this is the big one that we're gonna put at the top, so I'm gonna save that one, and then we'll do, I'll tell you what, let me look at something. I may put these here. I may put those there and make two smaller ones for here. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna work. So this is a smaller one, and then this is a smaller one. So let's put a little something. This is actually made from a heavy cardstock, so I don't think we're going to have to back them with anything. So I mean, we're not going to have to put anything on them to make them stiffer is what I'm trying to say. I actually printed this on some cardstock that I had printed on one side, and I didn't like what I printed. So I am recycling, and then we will just use this. This is going to be nice and sturdy. So we'll use this for a tag. Now, I know this one's going to be narrower than that one, and I'm not really concerned about that, I don't think. I could trim this one down just a little if I want to. Let's see. Will we trim it down a tiny bit? Let's trim it down just a little bit on either side. It doesn't have to be exact, but it just makes it look a little bit more uniform. That should work right there. You're still going to have that pretty flower on there, so no problems. I like that. Okay, let's back this one. Let me grab some more paper. Let's see, we have done our giveaway, and Marcia, if you are watching, yes, I have got your message. I have the Amazon in my cart, the Amazon card in my cart. I've just got to finish my little sale out and get it to you. It's just one of those things that we've been pretty busy trying to get kits out this week. So it's just been one of those weeks that I'm running a little bit behind, but it will get to you, I promise. I'm got it on my calendar to do today, and if I can't get it done today, it will definitely be done in the morning. Now, Melina still has her giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers, and we're going to try to get that done this weekend so that she can get that posted up. So I've got to load a little program for her to get that done. Alright, so there is that. Let's put a little reinforcer in here. And that's going to be right in the center of that flower, but that's okay. My little granddaughter, Brooklyn, the 8-year-old, she says, she always has this little saying. If I tell her, you know, she can't have something, or this is what you get, she'll say, you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. I know. So that's what I'm telling myself right now. You get what you get. And I'm not going to pitch a fit. It's not that important. It is just paper. Alright. We are going to put that there. And that there. And then we just need to make the large one for up here. Now for this one, I will have to put a backing on it because this is just a thin copy paper. And that's no problem. I have all these little sheets that are already pre-cut here. When I have some scraps left over of my watercolor pads or something like that, I go ahead and cut them, and that way I can use them for my tags and things, and I have them right here on my desk. Alright, and that makes a nice thick tag, and then it also, you know, it's ready to write on the back. You don't have to worry about putting another piece of paper on the back to write on. There we go. And let's see, let's do the corners. And this again uses up a lot of your scraps. You know, if you've got scraps in your stash of little flowers and things like that, this can use up a lot of your scraps as well. So it's just a great way to make something really pretty and use your scraps up while you're doing it. Alrighty, now we will punch our hole. I think the more I punch, the more I'm going over that way, but that's okay. All right, this is going to be the top tag right there. Oh, aren't those pretty together? I like that. All right, I'm going to take these out and I'm going to stitch around this, and then I'm going to decide what kind of trim I want to put in my tags. But first I'm going to stitch around this since my glue is dry, and I'll be right back. All right, there's our stitching. It's just a little zigzag stitch. And now we are going to decide what we want to put in those. But first off, let's see if this is going to fit here. I may have to use a smaller one. Let's use this one right there. And then we just need a little piece to go in the center of that. And I'll show you what I did. I took the stamps from the Tim Holtz, that stamp that I got from him, and I think it is, what is the name of it? Field Notes, I believe. I will link it below. I took that stamp and I just stamped a few of these on my material. Let's see. And I should have cut a little bit wider around, but I didn't. Okay. And then I'm just going to fray it just a little bit, not a lot, just a little on the edges. And see, that is what you get there. Isn't that cute? And then I'm just going to take a little bit of ink, just a tiny bit, because this doesn't need much. And I think we will put that down right there, like that. But I feel like I want something behind that because it's, I don't know, it's too square, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is this little piece of the Edith Holden book page, I'm just going to tear that in a little rectangle. Let's see what that looks like behind it. I know the writing is going sideways, but that doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, I think that would work like that. It kind of balances that out a little bit. So let's do that. Oh, I know something that I forgot to do on this one. Let me do that before I forget. I was going to cover that staple with that little button right there. So we're just going to do that with our Fabri-Tac and then let it sit over there and dry a little bit. And that's just a button that I cut the back off so that it would glue down well. Whoops. It stuck to my sticky finger. There we go. Alright, so that is cute. Now I'm going to lay that right there and let that dry. And then we're going to glue this down. So let's go ahead. Oh, and these bottles are on their way, and the caps. And believe me, the caps and the bottles both are going to be cheaper than what Amazon charged me for them. So we should have some of these in our store. I don't know, it may be next week before we get them up in the store, but we'll have them in the store for sale if you would like to purchase one. We also have a few of these coming. They're not exactly the same color, but you know, I know that some of you can get these similar to this at the Dollar Tree. We can't get them around here. Our Dollar Tree doesn't have them. But in case you're like me and you can't get things like that from your Dollar Tree, then we will have some of those in the store as well. All right, now let's put, see, I like that. I like how that looks. Now let's put something else down on here. And see, I had problems throwing that little book page number away. So I'm just going to, I inked that up, I tore around it, and I'm going to glue it down right there. I've got issues with numbers, guys. I need a 12-step program, I think. No, I like numbers. I like being able to use my numbers. All right, let's see. What else are we going to put on here? I need some little something right there. And there's not a lot of this that's going to show once you put your little tags in there. So I'm just going to use this little Tim Holtz piece that says special delivery. Put that down right there. See, try to get it as straight as I can. And then I don't really think we'll put anything here. And I'm not sure that I'll even put anything up here. It's just not going to be a lot of that that's going to show. Let's see if we have anything that's really just small that we could include up there. And I don't think I do. This little piece. Well, we could put that little piece there. Like I said, I don't think it's going to show once we put our tag in there. So let's just don't worry about it. Let's just leave it as is. All right. I do want a word on here. So I am going to pull my little book over here. And I think I'll just put this one that says treasure. Let's see if, no, that looks a little bit big. I first pulled out this one, so I need to go back to it. It just says be fearless. Now let's pull in some trims and things to put on our tags. And I'm going to use the other piece of this little trim that I had that I told you I cut into. I'm going to use the other little piece of this to go on here and just tie a knot in it. And I'm just going to tie the knot on the front part of the tag. And this is just a old piece of trim that I cut into. Like I said yesterday, it is fraying all over the place, so after I cut it in the center, I think it just started falling apart. So I'm just going to use it up. So there is one right there. Now these are just some vintage pieces that I have little scraps of. So I'm going to see what this looks like through one. I don't think that purple actually works. Could probably just do the pink. But let's lay that aside for a second and see what else we have. We have this little tiny piece that could work. It could work right there. Let's just put a little staple in there. I really don't have enough of it to even tie, but we'll just put a little staple in there and then cover it over with a little piece of bling. So let's do that on that one. Then let's see, I have this. It's a very old piece of, and I'm not even sure what this is. This is like a crochet trim or a knitting trim, or I don't know. I'm just going to look at it and see what it looks like. What do you think? That looks pretty good. So let's put a piece of that there. I may have to put some of my glue down at the bottom or down at the edges to keep it from fraying, because it's really fraying. Put one of those there. We'll put a button or something on that too. And then this one, let's see what else we have. I have this little trim. It might be pretty in here. I don't know, let's grab some lace. I think I need some lace in these last two. We used this little piece of lace that we used yesterday. And again, I don't mind that this is a white and these, you know, some of these are not. I don't mind that. I think it gives it character. Okay. So let's put that right there. And then one more, this one. You know, this was a piece of trim that came on one of your packages, and I saved it, of course. And I'm thinking this might look pretty good on this top one. Let's try it and see. I like that on there. I think it's pretty. All right. Again, let's do that. Cut the edges. And then we will start adding some little pieces of bling to these to cover up that magnet, to cover up that staple. And then we'll put one on here. All right, let's put one on this one. I don't think we'll need one on that one. It's tied. But if we're going to put one on this one, we may want to. Let me look. I may just put a little flower on this one. Just a little tiny flower right there. I don't stress too much over what I put down here. I don't just, you know, I don't try out everything in my stash. I just look at it, and if I think it looks good, then I put it down there. Okay, that one goes on the next line. That one goes there. This one goes down here, like this. Okay, let's do this. Let's alternate these. That one goes over there. That one goes over there. Then this one is going to go here. And then we've got one more that's going to go at the top. We just need a really big piece of bling to go on it. And we could put a button, if you had a button. I'm just going to put this big piece of bling that I have right here in this stash that needs to be used up. And then that's going to go, oops, don't pull that down in there. That's going to go right there. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Look at that. Pull those little strings off right there. Now to bring just a little bit of that blue color that's in this top down toward the bottom, I'm just going to put a couple of these little flowers. And I think I'll just put one right there. And one over here. And that's going to be another really pretty tag. And it's got lots of pockets. Lots of journaling space. Isn't that pretty? So that is our little multi-layer tags. That's just how, I mean, they're easy to make. They do take a little bit of time if you do all of them embellishing like I did. They do take a little bit of time, but once you get your tags made, then, you know, it's nothing. This part comes together really, really quick. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.